snacks.
What it do, snackers and snackers? It's your boy Gage. This is LS Weekly. I am joined on the couch by none other than Sincere.
Yes, sir.
And the Coop.
Yo.
K in the back behind the camera. Doing that cameraman work type thing.
Right. That's right.
New Joker
work.
showed up. Jokes.
Yo.
In the building. Did you watch last week's episode, Jokes?
I kind of got through it.
Yeah,
I was too busy playing God of War.
Yeah, he doesn't know how we went on him at the end of the last episode.
Nah, he don't know.
He kind of questioned whether or not he was still...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess he knows now.
He knows now.
He knows now.
You might want to go revisit that player.
Revisit that, player. Nah.
Yeah.
You've been a player playing God of War.
Right now.
God of War. Right. Nah. Every time we get. All right, look. We got a lot to get through, okay? So, there was a lot of news. First half of the show, we're going to talk about some gaming. We're going to talk... That might be all we talk about, really, because I think it might take some time to get through that. But the second half of the show,
Fair enough.
we are talking about our predictions for Electronic Arts for E3 this year.
Sound like a plan.
This year. And Coop said he was ready.
Yeah.
Ready.
Like 6 a.m.
This morning.
Yeah.
Like,
we talking EA? Like,
I got things. Yeah. Like,
I got hot takes. I'm ready.
Super
Let's
ready.
go.
Super ready. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're officially.
Yes.
I
was up early and I was like, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down with that. Hey, so look, okay, before we get to that, let's just get this out of the way.
All right.
Rick and Morty got renewed 70 episodes.
Yes! Oh, yes.
Do we need to say any more? That was it. I think that was the reaction.
Hey, look, I think that was the reaction from anybody who saw
Across
that
the
today.
board.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I saw one line that said, now all the fanboys can stop crying in their Szechuan sauce.
Really, the only other question is, we know season 4 is done. When do we get it? That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Maybe.
They probably just gonna Beyonce that joint and drop it. Like it's probably just gonna happen.
And they did it last year.
Yeah, that's what they did with season 3. Yeah, so
yeah.
probably that's gonna happen.
Yep.
Just excited to have it back.
Is that the term? We're just gonna Beyonce this?
Yeah, that's the term. You didn't know that's the actual verb for it now. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
Oh yeah. If you drop something without a release date, you Beyonce'd it.
Got it.
70 episodes. I'm ready for them.
Yeah, they're not gonna drop all 7. They're gonna make
of course,
that's gonna be kind of killer. Like that, they might make you wait. Like there's 70 episodes, but you just just waiting. Like
It's because they said multi-year.
Yeah.
Right there. So
of course.
See, like, of course, yeah. But at least we know there's content to come in the future. The deal's done.
Yeah.
There's no more holding up on one party's end or the other. Like,
Yeah.
it's all done. It's out in the open. Let's just get to the content.
It is.
That's it.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, Nintendo finally put out the word on what their online infrastructure is going to be. There's a lot of details. I mean, it's relatively sparse. I'm just gonna run through them real quick. Okay. Let's bullet point them. So, $20 a year, which we already knew, right? Or $8 for 3 months, or $4 a month.
Okay.
$20 is super easy for that. Like that's what you do. Okay.
Yeah, not a problem.
But family plan, $35 for the year for 8 people.
Ooh.
That's the one. That's the one right there. That's the one. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving. There will be 20 NES games with online capability. So they've announced 10. Now we're gonna know what they are now. They're gonna announce another 10 prior to this launching, which is launching in September.
Right.
Okay. And it will come along with cloud saves, so you'll be able to back up
That
with your cloud saves.
Cool. I'm with that.
So again, not gonna dig too deep into this. It's good that they're starting to kind of really put the information out there for people, so people know what they're getting.
Agreed.
I think it does actually push forward a few more questions because we don't have Virtual Console. We don't know anything about it, but they have basically said Virtual Console, so to speak, isn't really coming.
Right.
So the question is going to be, so does this mean for $20 a month you're only getting NES games? And then, like, if you want SNES games, are you paying a different fee?
Right.
Is there some kind of add-on? Is there something else? So, again, we need to wait and see what else they have to say. I'm sure they'll be talking about it at E3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll get most of that information
Yep.
E3.
And we'll discuss that in a couple of weeks. Like, Nintendo's on the lineup for us to talk about. Actually, they're next week. So we'll be talking about what our predictions are for Nintendo next week. But I wanted to at least get that out there that they've at least kind of made it so that portion of it is not something they have to worry about at E3.
Okay.
Which to me says they have other things that are more important they want to talk about.
True.
Than having to
I don't
dwell
care
on that and
anything
what
about. I don't care anything about NES games. Like,
sure, I
don't
mean,
care about those, but cloud saves, cool. Y'all announced that. That's been a concern.
Right.
Y'all make sure y'all reiterate the price point and y'all gave us a release date. Like
Sure.
and not only with the $20, but like broke down like 3 months, 1 month, family plan. Like you're actually rolling out the information now.
Yeah.
Like that's where we need to be.
I mean, I think that $35, it says
Well,
a family plan, but it says you
that's
can use it
great.
with friends. It says you can use it across any consoles.
Yeah.
Like, and that, to me, that's the way we gonna do it. Like, everybody, that's how we gonna
Hey,
do
look,
it. 'Cause
think about how many in the fam that has a Switch.
that's what
That
I'm saying.
seems like the best way to do it.
It is
Yeah.
the best way to do it, especially because, one, we don't really care about the NES games. But, I just think, look, when you are going to take away from people something that they did have for free, right? Especially when you had to prolong it and you didn't put it out last year like you were going to. Now people have been playing for free for even longer, for over a year now, right?
Yeah.
People have been playing for free. So if you're going to tell people they have to pay in order to play online, you need to give them something and it needs to be not expensive, is what I think. And so
True.
this
Yeah.
is,
True.
so a no-brainer. So again, not going to get too much deeper into that. We're going to leave that. But Square also announced that they are doing an E3 conference this year. So it will be Monday, June 11th. For us, it's going to be on the East Coast. It's 1 p.m. It's 10 a.m. Pacific time, right? So, but they are doing a conference, which means they haven't done one in a couple years. So that means they probably have some things they really want to show. Probably Kingdom Hearts 3. Probably, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 remake,
right.
stuff like that.
We're not going to do a prediction about them, but it's just an important thing to know that they are doing their own. So Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I'm sure we'll see extra stuff there.
Of course.
Positive we're going to see it on somebody else's stage, probably Microsoft stage. My understanding is that the people who were invited to come and play Shadow of the Tomb Raider a couple of weeks ago, the press that got to do it, all of that stuff was all being played and running on Xbox and Xbox One X consoles. So that's probably who they're partnered with.
Right.
So that means it'll probably be on their stage, if anywhere else besides Square showing it.
Okay.
It's funny how that happened. Just with Tomb Raider being that stable PlayStation character and just
I'll end up switching over to
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, money talks.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Like,
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is, even though there was a lot of complaining about that second one being exclusive to Microsoft for a year, that game probably wouldn't have happened at all
Without Microsoft.
if
They
Microsoft
put up
hadn't
the money
paid to
for
make
it,
sure
yeah.
that happened.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. So I just kind of want to make sure we get that out there so people know. Now we're going to talk about Walmart. Walmart in Canada made some mistakes.
These
this week.
WikiLeaks.
Made some mistakes this week. So look, some E3 information. If y'all don't follow, there's a cat out there named Wario64. He's got a dope YouTube channel, dope Twitter. That dude gets some info. Like you just, if you're not following Wario64, go follow Wario64. But basically, he caught and posted on Twitter. Walmart Canada basically had a page that went up that is all of these games that are not released yet, okay? That everybody's like, okay, clearly E3. And look, for me, it's just like, it's E3 time. So sure, you know what I mean? Like,
Right, we're gonna get those.
let
we're
the
gonna get
leaks
those
come,
released,
let it
yeah.
happen, whatever. So I'm just gonna run the list real quick of some of the titles that were included in this leakage.
Wall leaks.
Yeah, Just Cause 4,
Yeah.
Okay.
Splinter Cell,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rage 2,
That was one.
Dragon Quest 2 for Xbox and PS4, which is interesting. Lego DC Villains. I heard some rumblings of that before this, so I think that's kind of cool. Borderlands 3,
I'm ready.
Gears 5,
Okay.
Interesting.
Assassin's Creed.
Of course.
Well, not necessarily, of
Yeah.
course, because we've been thinking they're going to take,
Yeah, take a
another
year
year off or
off. So
something
that-
like
so
that.
that
So
one
we
was
don't
an
know
interesting
exactly
posting.
what that will mean. But we talked about that last week. What we
Yeah.
think could be going on with
Yeah.
that. And funny enough, Forza Horizons 5, which has to be a typo, bro.
Hey, I'm about to say-
because we've only had 3.
Yeah, like I never got my 4.
They
Like
just
where
jumping
5 coming
ship.
at?
Like,
Yeah.
We gonna get them both this
It's
year?
like Microsoft, just straight.
yeah, it's like, you remember when they skipped Windows 9? Went
Yeah.
straight to Windows 10?
They dropped
We'll play
Forza
that,
Horizon
yeah.
5. That'll
That's
mess
right.
everybody head up.
The stupid
Yeah.
numbers thing is a trend now.
Yeah. So the most interesting thing about that whole leak probably is that once the leak hit, so Rage is a game from Bethesda, and it did okay review wise, but I don't think it sold super well.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah,
I
I
owned
agree.
it. It was cool. I liked the game. But they responded to it. Like, the official Rage account responded to Walmart, like, copied and pasted it, and then wrote on it, like, this is how you properly, like, this is all wrong. You don't have no box art. There's no age rating in the bottom corner. There's no, you know what I mean? Like, they did all that kind of stuff. And then, like, the official Bethesda account retweeted that and just put, like, dude. You know what I mean? And then Pete Hines, who is, if you don't know, he's the person who's basically always the guy on stage when Bethesda does their E3 conferences. He also responded to it, so it's interesting to see.
All right, so Rage is official.
It's probably
Rage 2 is
official.
Yeah,
bro.
Rage 2 is official. Let's just
I think that's coming.
So the company, dude,
Right.
just
Right,
Dude,
right.
like,
Come on, man. Yeah. So like it. I think if nothing else, it does lend credence to the fact that it's a high possibility that some of these other things are right.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Now what on the list 3 for a loop that you saw?
Nothing really. Nothing really. Rage 2 is probably the one that stood out the most. I mean, there were some titles on there I didn't recognize at all, like some new IP titles or whatever. So I'm like,
Yeah, I agree.
who knows? I don't know who's making it or who it's supposed to be or any of that kind of stuff. So
I agree.
it
Like,
kinda isn't
Rage threw me for a loop. You
That's
know what
probably
I mean?
Dragon Quest 2 kind of.
Final Fantasy Remake did. I don't know, for some reason I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's on the list.
Yeah, as far as a trailer and stuff like that, yes. But like, as far as being able to put up a joint saying pre-order now,
Yeah, I mean, look.
wasn't really expecting that.
Yeah, but you can pre-order Infinity War right now.
You can.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like,
Well, when I saw Gears of War 5, I just completely forgot. I forgot that they kind of restarted the entire trilogy. Because remember Gears of War 4, you're playing as the
New
son and
people,
everything.
yeah.
And then when I saw the 5, I was like, oh yeah, there should be another one.
Now that more shocked me.
only because there's no Halo.
Exactly.
listed.
That's
Like,
why
there's no
they
Halo
usually go
listed.
back
Very
and
true.
forth. That's why the Gears 5 thing popping up shocked
Yeah,
me.
without there being a Halo.
Exactly.
Like, I could see maybe that's not something they normally do. Like, they would not normally announce a Gears and a Halo at the same time. Right.
Extremely true.
But I have a theory. So in a couple weeks, y'all will get what that is. But I have a theory because it's not time for those Microsoft.
Stay tuned.
E3
Come back every week to get that theory.
Yeah, it's not time. It's not time for that just yet.
We'll say that for the Microsoft episode.
Yeah. AK, how we looking on time, bro? 6 minutes? Dougie, fresh.
You're on.
So listen. We are gonna talk about EA after the break and get
Right.
into our predictions. However, I want to go ahead and just put it out there now that they had an investor call like yesterday or the day before and essentially confirmed Anthem for literally the words were the last month of the last quarter of this fiscal year, which basically makes it March 2019.
Which
Okay?
makes it
It's,
March.
it's March 2019.
But-
Okay.
I personally didn't expect that game until 2019 anyway.
Yep.
Did not expect it this year whatsoever. Wasn't even on the radar.
Correct. I totally agree with
So
that.
the fact that it's March, I'm like,
I mean, I
it
feel
could
like
get pushed
that,
back, but
it could, but I feel like that makes sense. Like the way they talk about it in the earnings call is that they talk about it coming out then, but then talk about having a plan for it being the kind of game it is, a Destiny-like
Right.
kind of game. Obviously,
Destiny,
being
Division,
that
all
they're
that
talking
kind of
about
stuff.
money coming in and what their plan is for utilizing it throughout the next fiscal year.
right.
So, yes, it could get pushed back. I don't think it will.
Okay.
I think that March is set in stone, and I don't think they're gonna push it because I don't think there's a whole lot else that like for this year,
Right.
for this fiscal year. They could announce any number of things that either again, and we can talk about what we think is gonna happen with that. But
It makes sense.
I don't think they push it.
Yeah, it makes
They
sense.
pushed it once already.
Yeah, it makes sense because when we saw the trailer,
They did?
Yeah.
I didn't expect 2019 anyway, so I wasn't paying attention.
we saw the trailer last year. I mean, it wasn't like official gameplay, but it was
Right.
But then I'm sure I always thought this year we'll get the gameplay, and then of course somewhere in 2019.
Right.
So
We have time, like, between E3, Paris Games Week, Tokyo Game
yep.
Show. Like, there's plenty of time,
showcase
additional PAXs and whatever, right?
To showcase
so,
it and
yeah, there's
show
going
what
to be
it's about,
plenty
yeah.
of opportunity for that. So I'm not really concerned about it. But I did want to just kind of get that out of the way that, like, as far as predictions or whatever concerned. Like
Right,
that's
that's
already
not on
in the
the
bag.
table,
It's
right,
not even.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all right. I mean, I
We'll
do
see a trailer.
have.
But like other
I
than
mean,
that, like,
yeah, I will go out on a limb and say that I think we'll see gameplay, and I think it will be shown on Microsoft stage. I will say that. I think Microsoft has Anthem, and I think
yeah, because they debuted on that stage last year.
I think that they will debut that there's a deal where like content's coming
and
in
they,
first.
and they
so they have
debuted
some
with the
kinda-
1X and all that type of stuff. Like,
It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing.
I need that thing.
So I did want to kind of just make sure that again we get that out of the way.
Right.
So real quick before we go to the break, so we only got a couple minutes left before we need to do that. The Google I/O conference keynote was today, and they talked about a lot of changes in tech that are coming. They're all like AI based.
We're about to die.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right
Just go put it out there.
right when Detroit Become Humans about to come out.
We're
Right.
all about to just
So,
computers run everything.
so look, man, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Things like smart colorize, which will take images you already have and like take the main persons in front and just put color in them in black and white, everything else out, and it'll do it automatically. Or taking a black and white picture and actually adding color into that picture automatically. Doing
was really
things
dope,
like
yeah.
smart suggestions, where if you have pictures that you're going through and it sees that you have a friend that's in multiple of those pictures, it can make a suggestion with like one tap. You could just send those pictures to that person. So there's clearly that same kind of face recognition that Facebook has and all that kind of stuff going on. So
nice.
I mean, look, there's that. The Google Assistant, it has something called Google Duplex, right? And if you like ask Google to do something for like make an appointment for you or something, it actually makes the phone call, talks to the person for you, and sets the appointment up, and it sounds like a person. Like it's not even.
No, it did.
It's not
And
even.
that
It
was
sounds
scary.
like a person.
That was scary.
Black Mirror.
Yeah. They're adding something called Pretty Please, so that now you won't have to always say okay Google, but there is concerns about like kids and the way that kids learn behavior.
Kind of like being rude to it. Like, do that. Like
just because you can just tell it to do something.
And they
hey,
do it,
okay,
yeah,
Google,
yeah.
do it. Whatever.
Which I think was a smart. Was very smart.
Right. They've been
Very
partnering
smart,
with
yeah.
like experts and stuff like that, and child development and so forth to kind of make that change, and I think that's important. So, you like to use Do Not Disturb mode
I use it
every day.
every single day.
So they are making some changes to Do Not Disturb mode.
For the good or for the bad?
For the good.
Okay,
so
what they doing?
They're making a shush mode. So Do Not Disturb mode will automatically get activated if you put your phone face down. Right? So like you at the table, y'all talking or whatever, you put the phone face down, it'll automatically
I'm
do
digging
that, right?
Keep talking.
Very cool.
Okay.
But you also can do things like you can make it so that you can choose certain contacts that can always get a hold of you. Right? So like if something happens, it's an emergency or something like that, like you can
I want to
choose
say
certain
they have
people.
something kind of like that now. It might be a more advanced version of
Yeah.
that. Because I think I have a friend that told me like he has those specific people on this.
They can get through no matter what.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Which I would love to have for my nephew.
Sure.
And
Sure.
wife, stuff like that. Just y'all get
Something
everybody
on
else.
that.
I don't want to hear from y'all, but
Right. But if
those people, yes.
I want
yes,
y'all to be able
yeah.
to get a hold of me. So that I mean, in a nutshell, that kind of wraps up what was happening at the Google I/O.
I think we can all agree. All the stuff we saw, the I/O was dope.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like
course.
across the
No
board,
doubt.
like it was amazing.
gonna
Like
kill us.
if y'all haven't seen it, I say go on YouTube and look at it yourself. Like
Do
trust
it.
us, it was amazing.
The Verge has a good rap, like a 14-minute rap. You want to go and just
Okay.
take a look at. We're gonna take our first break.
The first one.
The first break.
The first break.
We're gonna
Okay.
take our first break.
Okay, number
Okay.
one. Hold
It's
on.
not a second break, but just so people keep watching. We're gonna take our first break, and we'll be right back. And when I say, I'm talking about your life getting ready to change. You ain't never. Which one you about to show 'em?
Spriggs.
Alright, go ahead, show 'em Spriggs.
Spriggs, sir.
The cooking pot, you gonna have to wait till after the show's over. After that joint takes a minute. You gonna have to wait for that. We'll get that.
Some of that good meat falls off the bone. Baby, I'm hungry. I said, baby, you hungry. Let's head to Mr. Spriggs and get us some ribs. 1017 South Air Depot. I need that SPRIGGS. When I'm dealing with Mr. Spriggs, I only deal with the best. Gotta have that SPRIGGS. Call 733-8578. Mr. Spriggs Barbecue.
Always
Mr. Spriggs.
Barbecue.
tender. Meat falls off the bone.
Spriggs Barbecue.
Mr. Spriggs barbecue.
Mr. Spriggs barbecue.
It's always Mr. Spriggs barbecue.
Tender.
Mr. Spriggs barbecue.
Meatballs off the bone.
Spriggs barbecue. Oklahoma's best bar.
Oh, welcome back, snackers and snackettes. It is time. It is time for Electronic Arts EA E3 predictions. What we know is that E3 for E3 EA has been doing their own show, like they do the EA Play, right? So they've kind of separated themselves from the regular madness of E3.
Invite a bunch of people in to come play their games after the conference, all that kind of stuff.
Got their own spot.
Kind of dope.
So, Coop, you been ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Coming to the watch, he's been ready since this morning.
Yeah, let's
You got
go.
some hot
Coop,
takes.
You're up first.
I'm gonna say what I always say about EA. Can we get a fight night? No? Yes?
That's a question, or you just your prediction?
This is my.
Listen,
I
sir,
mean,
he just got a question. That's
Right,
he just,
right.
That's how he's prepared.
I'm expecting a fight night every year. Just
You're
for
expecting one.
Yeah, just for the simple fact it was such a great game, and I know we have UFC now, but I mean nothing just because usually when you play UFC, nobody's really doing the submissions that much. You see people just straight squaring up. So I really just want to see another fight night, and I hope they present it this year. Or if not, put Thanos in as a DLC character in UFC. just,
Just whoop on him like,
just snap.
like he did the Hulk.
Hey,
just
he looked like
piece
he
him
was a UFC anyway, so just put him in there. Yeah.
It does turn out Thanos got hands. Can we just for a second? Where did he get them hands from?
UFC.
Who did he with? What's
Hey, look.
Playing that fight
the
night.
squad?
Who's in the squad that showed him how to handle hands?
Hey, look, hit my.
No, his hands were certified.
Hey, look, just listen. What we didn't do was make sure we properly vetted that there would be spoilers for Infinity War
Well,
during this.
that was a slight spoiler,
We'll
but
let K take care of that.
Yeah.
Opposed to something I don't know because he messed it all up.
Sorry, I got into it. I'm curious. I want something different from Star Wars. I don't want another Battlefront, to be honest. I kind of want another style of The Force Unleashed or something like that.
Okay.
Somewhere around those realms. Because honestly, Battlefront was fun, but I mean it gets boring pretty quickly for me personally. So I want to see something different from Star Wars. That's what I want to see. There's a game that you may or may not know about that EA has put out called SSX snowboarding. I've always loved those games. I want that to come back.
They just made one of them backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think EA needs another one of those because it was like EA big. So they had like the SSX. They had the
MA Street,
right.
like that.
I think that type of realm of fun sports of or impossible things to do should come back as well too.
Okay.
As far as that's concerned, Anthem, you got a release date for it? I just can't wait. I just really want to get to
Be
it.
a big thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Sir?
Well, let's get out of the way. All sports will be announced.
just sweep it out.
All sports will be announced.
It's in the game.
What if it comes on sports?
This is the sports segment.
2018.
They'll most likely
yeah.
bring out some random old sports player to come out and talk about some new mode they got going on, and it'll be very awkward and uncomfortable for the audience.
So disrespectful.
Yeah.
Stuff like
There's
that.
a good chance of that.
No,
yeah.
they've done the past 2 years.
They've done it for like the past 5 years.
Yeah, so just all right. So sports, we got that off the table. I expect a new Battlefield.
Right.
Trail announcement. I honestly probably expect them to do something like they did last year with Battlefront. How they gave like just 30 minutes to Battlefront.
Yeah.
Like, I can see them doing that with a Battlefield.
Okay.
I expect some announcement for some type of new DLC for Battlefront.
Okay. Han Solo's coming out like this week.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's a trailer or just some other type of stuff they're gonna tie into it, but some type of DLC trailer they'll announce and stuff like that tied into it. What I do not want to see is anything Need for Speed.
Shut them down.
Yeah, I feel like that game needs to go back to the drawing board. Like throw what you have all away. Look at what's working out here, like everything from Grand Theft Auto to Forza Horizon. See what they're doing right, and implement that into Need for Speed and make it your own. Because the formula you've been working with for the past however many years is not working anymore.
Yeah, I can honestly say I haven't had fun.
So what about what if instead of doing a Need for Speed, they announce a Burnout? They just dropped the HD joint. That team that did Burnout has been taken and has been forced to work on Need for Speed.
I am fine with that. It's just Need for Speed is
Done with it.
dead.
Done with it.
It is.
It's the NBA Live of racing games.
Yes, it is. Facts.
What are y'all doing?
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
It is. It is what it is. Anthem, yes, we talked about that. We got a release date. Yes, kudos. Shout out. Here's a question for y'all I want to throw out there. Do y'all think they will make some type of, I don't know if they just address it on stage of loot boxes?
Oh, for Battlefront, or you just mean as a whole?
Just as a whole, with all the controversy with them last year with loot boxes and Battlefront, in some way, shape, or form, do they address it on stage?
Yeah. I think you would have to.
I think that they will. I just think that it will be an announcement about how that kind of stuff is going to work in Anthem.
Okay.
I think what we're probably going to see from them more than anything is that any loot boxes they do going forward will all be cosmetic stuff. That's what I think we'll see. I think that they will certainly have loot boxes, that they will... I don't know that they will straight up acknowledge that they made a mistake with what they did or that they mismessaged it or whatever.
Right.
But I do think that they will come out and say, here's what Anthem is, this is what it's going to be, and they'll announce in some way, shape, or form what the loot boxes or... Because there has to be a system, right? Like, you're playing that game
Anthem,
to get
yes.
loot, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
there has to be something to it, and I think what that's going to amount to is, look, they already have a partnership with Star Wars, so if you can do something... If, like, cosmetically, you can do something where you can make your armor look like Stormtrooper armor, or if you can, and that partnership that they have for doing that is still Disney. So if you can make yourself look like Iron Man, if you could, different things like that, right? So cosmetically, I think that is the angle that they're really probably going to shoot for, and I think if they can, probably appease, Disney / Lucas
And the consumers.
Well,
what
I'm saying is from a business perspective, right?
Okay.
Because what has happened with Battlefront has essentially been a travesty as far as what that business deal has been, because it certainly didn't do what the expectation was, and
Absolutely.
EA is at fault for that, and we know that Disney is kind of holding them, by
Oh yeah, they're rumored to be threatening to take that franchise away
they holding
from
them by the Loki neck.
Yeah.
And so I just think that you didn't catch that. I think that one of the ways that they can help appease and take care of that and still make sure that money and so forth that they need to make up maybe on the back end to Disney / Lucas could happen in a way of having loot boxes, transactions that are cosmetic but also are from their characters and from their things that is going to filter money back into them. You know what I mean? On the back end, right? So I just think that makes sense.
And other than that, I actually expect real good things from their indie department.
Sure.
The year before, even though I didn't play it, but I know Unravel did well for them. You know what I mean? No Way Out was phenomenal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm expecting good stuff from that, those development teams.
A surprise or something. From
yeah.
I mean, they're supposed to be doing an Unravel 2.
Okay.
So we might see that this year.
Okay. Like I said, I mean, kudos to those fans who are into it, but good stuff coming out from those companies or whatever to put forth.
I dig it.
What you got?
Okay, so listen. I'm gonna actually get in depth with sports, and here's why. I don't really care about any of it, and so this is why I'm kind of focusing on that, right? So, Madden. Okay, so Rex Dickerson, who has been...
Oh, he throwing out names. He real in depth. Let's go.
Let's go. I pay attention to what's going on.
I feel you.
Right? He just left EA last week. Just announced his departure. And he's been the person that's been at the head of running Madden for the past 6 years.
Okay.
Right? So he's been with the company for 12 years. But he left them, and one of the things that he said when he left was that he was leaving on his own terms. There was no bad blood or anything like that, but that it was leaving an opportunity for Madden to go in a new direction. Right, and do something different, which is something that I feel like Madden has needed ever since 2K stopped being a thing. Okay, so I think last year They push things a little bit by having that story mode in there. Right? And I think one of the things they probably saw from that was a lot of people who don't normally play Madden or don't normally care, even people who normally do jump in, unlike what you see with like a Call of Duty where we've been discussing, like barely anybody plays the story mode, but everybody jumps into online. Right. Like a lot of people jump into Madden and probably just jump right online, maybe run a season or something like that, right? But they probably saw, I think, a lot of people who maybe didn't play any of that, but played the story mode. Mm-hmm. I'm actually expecting a Madden that is all story. I'm going out, like I'm doing straight predictions. Like I'm expecting a Madden that is straight story, something separate from the regular Madden. Okay.
You mean, is it packaged in the same game, or is it
nope.
Like you go buy Madden story and then you go buy Madden
I think you can get them both if you want to, but there was a time when they used to do like a football manager.
Head
coach, right? So there was a time when they did that, and it might be time to revisit something like that, where you're actually putting something out that has a good story, where they have actors and people who really push it. That story mode was like a Friday Night Lights. Yeah. And I think that there's a possibility we could see something like that. Now, it might be just like a digital thing or something like that. But I think when they're discussing trying to do something different with it and take it in a new direction, I think I don't think you can get rid of Madden as Madden exists, right? Because you would upset way too many people.
And it's the only one on the market right? Yeah,
exactly.
You can't
so you don't want to take that away, right? But I do think maybe you can innovate in some other ways that might help make that a thing. So that's one of the things that I think is going to happen. Now, I do think, and you kind of touched on this, I think, and I've been talking about this for a while, I think we will see the resurgence of EA Sports big. I think it is time, like, for what has been happening as far as the sports division is concerned at Electronic Arts. The Maddens always do well, right? FIFA does phenomenally, right? Guess NHL does okay or whatever, right? But Need for Speed is struggling. NBA Live is struggling. There will be no NBA Live announced this year. No NBA Live. They will announce a new NBA Street. They will announce an NBA Street.
And that will be the
It will be with the NBA. It will be with the EA Sports big logo. It will come back, okay? We will also see FIFA Street and a Madden Street, NFL Street, right? And along with that, we will not get a Fight Night, but we will get a Knockout Kings. Because these Bammers they have in MMA, they have a simulation fighting sports game, right?
Knockout Kings is dope.
What they don't have, the issue with doing Fight Night is that there isn't a great unified place to legally get the license for all these different boxers and the kind of money they want. Like, if you want Mayweather, talking about putting out a game now, right? And supposedly it's a real thing, whatever, right? But trying to get all that licensing and get all those people and pull them in or whatever. But if you could just make an arcade-style boxing game, right? Like, they put a knockout mode in the new UFC game, in UFC 3. It's just a straight knockout mode. Stand and bang. Right? Knockout Kings. Under EA Sports big. Now, I don't know if it would be something as crazy and as silly as, like, Ready to Rumble.
See, that is it, yeah. that was my joke.
Ready to Rumble, I mean, they could do something like that, right?
I agree with them with the Fight Night thing, only because UFC has surpassed boxing now as far as that premier, like, contact sport. It's there are people out there, but it's nowhere as enough to fill a roster to make it as compelling as it is to do a UFC. And on top, like you say, it's way smarter and easier. We can go into one branch, get all these people, as opposed to doing
and it makes it easier to keep, I guess, some of those DLC characters they had away from the UFC, but put them inside like a knockout
and
Kings,
something else,
like Bruce Lee, Mike Tyson, characters like that. You can always bring someone around just to knock
people
somebody out.
People are so excited to have Tyson in a UFC game.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care.
But yeah, and if you get him on the ground too, that's over for Mike Tyson.
Right, you know what I mean? So, like, that's the thing. Like, but you could certainly, for a long time, boxing games were this one person's game. Mike Tyson Punch Out, Buster Douglas boxing, stuff like that, right? It was that one person's, and everybody else in the game was made up. Everybody else was fake, right? So I mean, you could have realistic or realistic looking fighters. People want to build their own. Let us do what we've been doing. Scan your face in, put yourself in the game, you know, all that kind of like those things. I'm telling you, if they announce a Knockout Kings, bruh, it's over. It's over. That joint in NBA Street, and it's a wrap. So that's where I'm at on the sports part, okay? Outside of that, I think we get a new Dragon Age. And I think it's possible it might be a Dragon Age Online.
That's interesting.
I mean, look. Yes, I know Anthem's coming, right? But and I know that's BioWare, right? But they have other teams that have been working on Dragon Age and so forth. They pulled away the team that was doing Mass Effect. That's not happening, right?
Okay.
So, with that being the case, you've pulled some of that team. You have some of them working on Anthem or whatever. But certainly they could be in the earlies because it's time for a Dragon Age anyway, right?
I've actually been interested in, I've only found it interesting because I've been interested in going back to play Inquisition.
Sure.
Because we got into the online, but I never got into
They just made Dragon Age 2 backwards compatible.
The Dragon Age Online would be pretty good as far as the open world, not open world, but just the world of anybody playing is concerned.
Right.
Especially with something like Red Dead Redemption coming out,
sure,
which will most likely have some, you know.
That joint's gonna eat everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about it is, right, like, there's ESO, right? So that's been out there for a while. People are playing it. Final Fantasy 14 is still a big deal. People are playing it.
Absolutely.
Right? And there isn't anything. I mean, there's very little on the console side that really works that way, right? So even if they announce it, maybe it won't be free, but maybe the barrier of entry is low, and you get in, and again, loot, cosmetic, stuff like that, or whatever, and you allow people into this world that, you know, they're kind of familiar with.
$20-30 for basic entry, then
yeah, just you know,
something like.
and as you do updates or add new sections of the world or whatever, it's the same way ESO does it. You know what I mean? Elder Scrolls has an online. So I think that the possibility of doing a Dragon Age and doing a Dragon Age Online is high. Because I also think that EA wants to get into that world of having something that's constant,
right,
that's always there, that people are always playing, and they can make it work.
That constant revenue always coming in.
Yeah, they can make it work. And then the only other thing is, I think when it comes to what they do with Battlefront, I think we're going to see it in Battlefield too, but I think we might see a Battle Royale.
That's the new
Makes
big
sense
thing.
to do, yeah.
That's the new big thing right now.
I mean, it seems like a no-brainer in Battlefield because they already have so many players and they got the big maps with the vehicles and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know how the vehicle play with. But of course, at least that allows them to put a different spin on it, right? Because Battlefield has the tanks and you know what I mean. Like they got all the
it does. I don't know. I don't know how I feel as far as being first person or third person. I don't know. For some reason, maybe because it's only been done third person. Like they're popular.
Sure.
Popular third person right now. Like I have to see it done right in a first person mode to get behind it. You know what I mean? Like just.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm behind the attempt.
I think that the difference, and maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be third person.
Very true.
Because you could play Battlefront either way.
Yep.
So I mean, the idea, if you're gonna do something like that and you're gonna have cosmetic loot boxes in it, you want to be able to see your
Battlefront
character.
needs to do that. Battlefront needs to do that.
Right.
Yeah, you
Battlefront needs to do
that. First person view.
No, Battlefront needs to do a Battle Royale mode.
Yeah.
That'll save that'll help save and keep it in the game.
That could do a lot for us. So I think, I mean, that's kind of where I am. So look, Jokes, you probably got something you want to say, but we don't have time for you. So listen, what I need y'all to do is, I want everybody who's watching in the comments below, let us know what you think of our ideas.
Yep.
Do you have any predictions of your own? And while you're at it, make sure you hit the ding-a-ling bell.
And how do you feel about our predictions?
I said that. Didn't I say that? I said that. I did say that. So
you did.
I did say that.
You did say that.
I did say that.
You did say that.
So yes, make sure that you hit the ding-a-ling bell, right? And you hit the little thumbs up or the thumbs down if you didn't like our predictions.
Doesn't matter.
And you know, just make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe because
Absolutely.
that makes us feel better.
It does.
Cool.
Puts a warm center inside.
All right, look, man, y'all show some love to K, Creative 71 in the house, New Joker 89. What are you? Coop's Concessions this time?
It's always been Coop's Concessions.
I mean, yeah, but all right, so Coop's Concessions. There was one time when it was like Super Duper Cooper.
Right, yeah, he always
up all of that. Hey, Reggie, look, throw one of them in there, K, for me so we can see about that.
Right.
Sincere 619.
Always.
Your boy, Empty Shells. We love y'all. Thanks for watching. Toodles and Loos.